This is the Game Changers Experience. Deep dive conversations with leading business disruptors, Olympic athletes, celebrities, entrepreneurs, and influencers from around the world. This show will teach you insights about the winning principles in mindset, productivity, marketing, branding, entrepreneurship, business strategy, and more. Hosted by Productivity Authority, business strategist, former elite athlete, author, and public speaker, Adam Strong.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Business Accelerator with myself, Adam Strong. And for you guys that are listening to me live, use the hashtag live, use the hashtag replay. You guys that are listening in on the podcast, we'll put all the today's notes below. So today's conversation is all about my 5 biggest tips about how you can get onto more public speaking opportunities. So through virtually or through real life to life stuff, right? So I'm going to give you some of my best tips about how you can go about doing that. So just a quick reminder, really, for you guys, if, like I said, use the hashtag live, use the hashtag replay, and do me a favor, give us a like, comment, share, or comment on the comment section below. That'd be super awesome. And click on the bell notification if you are listening to us through LinkedIn or on YouTube. Follow me there on those platforms and click on the bell notification, because then every time we go live, you'll get a notification about how you can go about doing that. So today's episode is all about if you guys want to get more speaking opportunities. Now, speaking's great because obviously it can build your brand, it can build your credibility, it can build your authority. And one of the things what I found, especially when it comes to public speaking, is a lot of people are scratching their heads thinking like, yeah, I'd love to be a speaker, but I just don't know like how to get speaking opportunities. So I'm going to give you guys some tips about how you can go about doing that. If you are listening to me, do me a favor, give us a PLC or give us a like, share, or comment section below. That'd be super awesome. Anyway, listen, let me give you my 5 top tips. So the first tip that I have for you guys is something really, really simple. You've got to do the ground foundation. What does the ground foundation mean? It means based on your niche or your industry or niche, whatever it is that you want to refer it to, niche or industry, whatever it is. Do me a favor, draw up a short list of all the speaking engagements or speaking events that you're aware of, or maybe not aware of, but make a list of those events that you'd like to potentially speak as a speaker or seen as whether it be a keynote or whatever it might be. But this could be anything. This could be done virtually. It could also be done face to face. So thinking about, looking at your industry, and now the way that I do things is using things like such as Eventbrite. If you're not sure, you could use things such as Facebook events. You could also look at private networking associations like the Chamber of Commerce. Things like that. So looking at different events where you could potentially collaborate and add value to their audiences or whatever it is a great tactic, a great way to go about doing it. So start making a list of those things. I always start with 20, right? So 20 events or whatever it might be, and find out who the event organizer is. Okay, so tip number 2, build a relationship with the event organizer. Really, really important. If you build a relationship with the event organizer, it makes things so much easier, I'm sure. And the thing that you've got to have in the back of your mind is how many emails or how many people are approaching them based on the same analogy. So everyone, whether you're an entrepreneur, leader, or whatever it is, everyone wants to build a brand. It wants to speak, right? So they're probably getting every other day a pitch of someone that turns around and says, hey, I'd love to speak on at your event, or I'd love to collaborate, or whatever it is. There's got to be some sort of hook, right? So what is the hook, right? What is the hook? What is going to entice them into a conversation with you, right? What is going to effectively get a response from them? That's the big multi-million-dollar question, right? What's going to get a response from them? Super important to understand that. And the best way to do that is to really get to understand them as people, looking at their social media profiles, what's important to them, what are they focused on right now. And hey, if they've got if they've got a particular speaking event, for example, and they're trying to get something done, what can you do to add value to that person, right? So super important, right? Got to make sure that you've got to have some sort of hook, right, that enables you to take conversation forward. Does that make sense? So that's my second biggest tip, right? Build a relationship with that person. Think of how you could be different, not just say, I'm so great, I'm so fantastic, and then it just makes you look like you've got this big ego, right? And no one loves ego-driven people, right? Seriously, it's just not attractive at all. Anyway, so that's my second biggest thing. My third big tip for you guys, which I think is like super important. My third big tip for you guys is to start practicing on certain platforms. Now, what do I mean by certain platforms? Like there are audio and video platforms in particular, like for example, if you are on Clubhouse, if you're on Wisdom, there's also a new platform called Owwll, which is networking but speaking, and kind of like that's a really cool place to build relationships with people as well. So if you are on those audio platforms, even podcasting, right? Great way to show your areas of expertise, right? So use that as content to then repurpose and regurgitate, but also video as well, video content. So like doing stuff like this, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, short form copy and long form copy video form, which I believe is really like super important, because if you do that, then people get to know you as a person. Does that make sense? So if they get to know you as a person, then it just makes things so much easier. Then you can cross-reference. Or if they check your profile out and they say, they check your profile out, and it's like, oh, that sounds like really interesting, right? That's a really cool topic or whatever it might be. Okay, so that is my, should we say, fourth tip even. The last one, I suppose my last one really in a nutshell, when it comes to public speaking, is to actually put your hat in the ring. What do I mean by that? So many people deny themselves speaking opportunities because they haven't got the bottle to, number one, ask, okay? And number two, right, is to actually do the foundations and just like put yourself out there, get yourself out of your comfort zone and actually do it, right? You've got to learn how to, you've got to learn to throw your hat in the ring sometime, throw your glove in the ring or whatever it is and say, right, let's do this, right? I'm available, let's do it, okay? You've got to ask. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no. It's as simple as that, right? It's not rocket science. So I think that's like super important, right? Like super, super important. I'm going to give you an extra tip here as well. The other thing I was going to say to you guys as well, just make sure that when you are approaching speaking or event organizers, whatever it might be, just make sure that what you're posting online is congruent with what you're actually saying. So if you live by a set of values, for example, okay, your set of values have got to align with what you're actually saying online, because otherwise there's a complete incongruence, right? And again, the event organizers are going to be like, there's a misalignment here. It doesn't make any sense. This person isn't safe. So again, all you're doing is you're just making sure that you're not, unless you're a chef, of course, you're not posting videos or pictures of what you had for dinner last night, right? Just use that as a perfect example, unless you're a chef, of course, okay? Or you're in the food industry. So I just wanted to kind of like put that out there. These are just kind of like what I found has really helped me in getting more speaking events for myself. So I hope that, so just in summary, so first of all, make a list of potential speaking gigs, and also finding out who the event organizers are. If you're not sure, use things like Eventbrite, use Google, Facebook events, use specialized associations such as the Chamber of Commerce. Find out where you can actually add value as a speaker, what your area of expertise, what you are super passionate about, and you could basically speak about it when you're sleeping, right? That's the first thing. Secondly, relationships, making sure that you are building a relationship with them, okay, finding out what's important to the event organizer, finding out what is how you can stand out from all the other people that are applying. Number 3, the hook. Okay, make sure you've got a unique hook. So again, what I mean by the hook is how can you lure someone in? How can you engage in a conversation, add value to them without coming across as these, I guess, across the same person as the other person that had effectively applied for a speaking gig. Because just remember, event organizers are getting daily emails, okay, from people like you about getting onto that platform. So what is the hook, right? What is the hook? Think about fishing hook. Number 4 is practicing on different speaking platforms, audio and like Clubhouse, Wisdom, Owwll, all of those great platforms. Because the more that you get yourself out there, the more people can actually listen to you, because you never know who's listening, because just because somebody might not be interested in you right now, further on down the line, they may remember you from the value that you give to them. Does that make sense? And tip number 5 is all about putting throwing your gauntlet into the middle, or throwing your hat in the ring and actually asking, right? If you do not ask, you do not get. It's very, very simple, okay? Because otherwise the answer will always be no. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of like share those tips with you guys. I hope that has really kind of enlightened you a little bit more about how you can get more speaking opportunities and things like that. Do me a favor, if you're listening to me here through the podcast or through a live, if you believe that I've given you some great tips, then do me a favor. If you want to buy me a coffee, okay, buy me a coffee. And here is the link, by the way, buymeacoffee.com/the game changers. If I've given you some great tips and some advice for today, you can go ahead and buy me a coffee if you wish to do so. If not, otherwise, do me a favor, follow me on LinkedIn or on YouTube, and obviously here on Facebook as well. Listen, I hope that you've enjoyed today's quick tips. I'll be back on here tomorrow, of course, and hope you guys have enjoyed today's podcast as well. And we'll see you again here again on the next Business Accelerator Show. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.